whose significant contributions are recognized across the sector in industry, government, academia, volunteerism, and philanthropy. Past recipients of this prestigious award include giants of our industry, such as the late Joe Rodman and Dr. John Evans. Some of the past recipients are also here with us tonight, such as John Turks, Mark Lavonin, and Mark Byzantium. We continue this tradition of excellence this year by recognizing an individual who has really become the face of the bio-industrial sector in Ontario and across Canada. Please turn your attention to the screens as we honor the achievements of Murray McLaughlin. So Murray's contributions, as you can see from that video, are quite significant. So much so that we actually needed two presenters to give him this award. So this evening I'd like to call on Sandy Marshall, who is the chair of the Board of Directors for the Sustainable Chemistry Alliance. And I'd also like to call Susan Woodbone, Executive Director for Alberta Innovates, to present this award to Murray. Sandy, Susan, please come to the stage.
Good evening, everyone, and congratulations, Murray. Now, if you looked at your program, you will see that I am supposed to be Don McCabe. And misfortune you don't get his sense of humor out of me, but I am bringing his best greetings to Murray as well. Don is weather-locked in the airport in Ottawa tonight. I really enjoyed the little film clip, and I hope you did too. I think there were some themes out of that film clip that are worth repeating. Murray began his life as a farm kid from New Brunswick, and I think that that probably was the foundation upon which he discovered that you simply work at the job until you get it done. And Murray is known for his tireless work and his dedication to projects once he started them. He's also known as the guy who starts things. That was just an incredible list of projects that he's undertaken over his life. And the point that Don wanted me to bring to you is that he considers Murray a modern-day Johnny Appleseed, a guy who plants a seed, makes sure that it gets a really good start, gets out of the way, and comes back to check every once in a while other people yield the harvest. What is the character of a man who can do all of these things and still consider everyone in this room his friend? He is a man of humility and of integrity and of future vision. And I think if we follow and watch closely what Murray is going to do next, you'll see where the world is going to go. So I offer you my personal and certainly Don's congratulations tonight, Murray, and wish you continued good health and good activity in this wonderful life science world. Thank you.
Yes, good evening, everyone. And I'm very proud to be here on behalf of Bio-Industrial Division Canada in sharing this recognition of Murray's Lifetime Achievement Award. I personally met Murray 8 years ago when I joined the board of BIC, and had the great pleasure of working very closely with him over the last 8 years, first on the board and then later as chairman of the board. It's been amazing to watch his tireless work ethic as he has tried and driven us forward and to support the commercialization of bio-based and sustainable chemistry-based technologies. We actually have two members of our portfolio companies here with us tonight at our table. Durgar and Vi are with us to share in this evening with Murray. And it's been a great pleasure to be part and work with Murray on that, and I continue to look forward to working forward with Murray in the future. I was thinking about what I might say about Murray, because there's so many things that have made him successful in what he's done, and there's three characteristics which I wanted to highlight tonight. I think I can skip over some of my dialogue I had on that because they've already been well covered. One is his experience and the breadth of knowledge that he carries, and I have nothing more to say than what we saw on the screen here tonight. It is amazing, the breadth of his experience. The second is his network. This man carries a network around the world. I've traveled with him a fair bit, and there's no place I go that people don't come up to me and say, oh, is Murray here? Everybody knows Murray, and Murray knows everyone, and he can make those connections between different people who have different issues and different ideas and need different support. And that's one of the more powerful things that Murray does. The third characteristic Murray has is he's a true gentleman. And he is honest. He treats people very fairly and humbly. Everybody wants and likes to be around Murray and be Murray's friend. And when he is in groups, he finds ways to create collaboration and to build collaboration amongst groups that may not work together or have not worked together before. And I think that's that collaborative spirit, that honesty, that true gentleman spirit that Murray has, that has allowed him to be extremely successful in what he's done. And congratulations, Murray, and on achieving this lifetime of achievement award from the LSO.
Oh, thank you very much for that. It's been, it is a humility in a way, but gratifying in a lot of other ways. But, as I listen to the evening and the other speakers, it's really interesting to see a lot of the comments that were made, even from the early days earlier in the evening when Jason talked about the volunteerism and so on, and Jason. Jason now? Sure. Anyway, the Jason over here with his family, interesting, 3 boys, that's Lori and I have 3 boys as well, Jason. So our boys are a little bit older today, so congratulations on that. But it really is a journey, and I think the other Allison had commented about the romance and the passion, the journey of science, and I think that's really a critical part as well. And then Minister Murray talked about some of the key things in moving technologies forward, and I think that's important to understand. And I think the fact that he talked about we need to talk to the mayor here in the city of Toronto about getting a new convention center that would house 20,000 people. The only thing I would say is it should be 25,000 to 30,000 people, because I want to see it being competitive with the 2 or 3 biggest centers in the U.S., which is based in Boston, Orlando, and San Diego, and then we can be the 4th largest, the 4th one in North America. But with that, very briefly about, I just want to make a few comments. I don't want to spend a lot of time up here because we are at the end of the evening. When I was told to take a few minutes, I thought I'd speak first about using tonight to rant about the challenges facing Canadians. But, however, tonight is not the time to dwell on the challenges of ensuring Canada and Ontario become the global leaders they can be. I am confident that with all the friends in this room, we will make that happen. Flow-through shares that David talked about, I think, are critical for the future, and I think we have to continue to work with that and make that happen. We talked about that being in the natural resource, what people used to call the natural resource areas for mining and oil and gas. Well, I work in an area called agriculture and forestry, and I think those are much more natural resources than anything else that we have. I think both the share would fit nicely in those areas as well. So, David, I'll work with you on your campaign. I have watched and participated in innovation in agriculture for 40 plus years and seen how we have kept up with feeding the world population. People, and that's a growth of 6 million people in the last century, from 2 million in the beginning, early in the last century. So we've seen the growth of 6 billion people, going from 2 to 7 billion people, and we're going to be pushing to 10 billion people by 2050. Challenges that would be hard to imagine being able to meet. But that challenge will continue. We will continue to meet that challenge. Today we are seeing a new side of agriculture, besides feeding the world. That's mitigation of climate change by creating innovations to establish a bioeconomy, along with our friends in forestry. This recognition tonight for me is it's a tremendous honor to receive this recognition of lifetime achievement from LSO. It's an honor, and it's also humbling at the same time. Humbling because there are pages of names that have been there to help make my career and accomplishments realities. I don't do anything that I can accomplish that all by myself. So, of course, there's always one person that you tend to lean on more than others. And that person has been and is my wife, Lori, who's in the room tonight. And she has been there from the early days of helping evaluate research plots in all corners of Saskatchewan, to moving back and forth across Canada as I changed career positions every few years, and she supported me in all of those changes. Well, at the same time, bringing up 3 great boys, men to everybody else in the room today, because that was one of the things going on now. So, but with a little help from me, she brought those 3 guys up. And today they have their own careers and are spread across the country from Toronto to Winnipeg to Vancouver. And the middle one that's in Winnipeg just had her second grandson last Saturday, so we're going to go and visit the grandson tomorrow. I thought it would end off with a reference to another word in McLaughlin in the Farmer's Song. And a lot of you in the room already heard that if you're my age. I know some people do not like the farmer's description, but in 1992, that was the real important part of the song was beyond that image of farmers. I'm going to say a few words about that song. Straw hats and old dirty hankies, mopping the face like a broom. Thanks for the meal. Here's a song that is real from the kid from the city to you. Now, if I come by when you're out in the sun, can I wave at you just like a friend? These days, when everybody's taking so much, there's somebody giving back in. I thought it was great that a kid from the city, being Murray McLaughlin, would recognize that this is what farmers do and are doing every day of their lives. They're giving back in. And my Uncle Charlie was one of those farmers in New Brunswick, and he had the hanky to mop his face, just like that song. But he was a mentor of mine, and he was part of one of my first mentors when I was still in high school. I spent a lot of time on that farm. And he did a lot of giving back, and gave a lot of leadership for me in my early days. But I think with that, I'm just going to say that you know that if you wave at a farmer in the field, he will always wave back, just like a friend. Thank you for this great recognition of me, and continue to wave back to those farmers.
Thank you so much, Marie. Fantastic achievements throughout your life. And, we were talking with Marie at our table, and Paul was saying to one retiree to another, so are you retired, or are you still working full-time? And Murray's response was, well, my understanding of retirement is that you get to do what you love, and I'm doing what I love. He's still working full-time. Murray, thank you so much for your continued contributions to life sciences. Okay, that's it for tonight, folks. We've got a few final announcements. This is now the official last call for the silent auction.